Oh man, how is it going? See, I told you, wouldn't be another 7 months, just 1 week later. Anyways, it's a nice day. Let's get into it. Man, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. I think this is episode 71 officially of these. The goal when I started this was to get to 100, and we're almost there, but the real original goal was to do 100 consecutively, and obviously that is not a thing that's happened. All right, so not gonna lie, this is one of those days that I didn't really feel like recording a video. I'm only doing it because the weather the rest of this week is supposed to be, you know, you've seen me ride in the snow, you've seen me ride in the rain. We'll do it. It's fun, but recording videos and that isn't as fun as riding. It's a lot more difficult. So the thing I would like to talk to you about today is the price of inaction, or the cost of inaction. Essentially, the price you pay by doing nothing at all. The reason that I find this pertinent to discuss right now is that as of recording this video, today is April 1st, which means that we have just over 8 full months left in the year. And you can accomplish a lot in 8 months. Or you can waste 8 months, and either way, 8 months is going to fly by. You don't necessarily get a choice in how fast it's gonna go. There'll be long days, there'll be short days, there'll be good days, and there will be bad days, but you do get to control what you do with that time that you were given. And this cost of inaction can, you know, it can be monetary, it can be physical, it can be emotional. There's a range of ways that this could be taken. And the thing that really makes me think about this is that last year I started a fishing lure company called Summer Day Fishing Co. And I really half-assed that business for the first 6 months. You know, did a little bit here, did a little bit there, made money, you know, that's nice, but not nearly as much money as I could have. I didn't realize how fast my business could have grown and how much money I could have made until I really reviewed my Google Analytics at the end of the year. Right, I mean, I knew I had website visitors, I knew I had sales, I knew I had things going on, but I wasn't doing much. But all of a sudden, I really review my analytics at the end of the year and realized that with zero advertising, I had, I think it was like 6,000 website visitors or something like that. 5,000, 6,000. I actually don't remember the exact number, to be honest with you. But, you know, if you run the numbers from a marketing perspective, you can expect, you know, 3% conversion rate. Okay, so 3% of, let's make the numbers easy, 5,000 is something. And then you can also predict that if you have an option for free shipping, you can predict that a certain number of your sales will also be reaching that point. But I ran all the numbers, and all of a sudden I realized, man, you know, I just very likely missed out on $5,000 worth of sales if I would have put more effort into this. And again, I was putting bare minimum effort into this, right? And if I would have put a bit more effort into it, all of a sudden, I would have been looking at an extra $5,000. And that is certainly nothing to balk at, especially first year in business as an e-commerce site, right? So for me, that cost of inaction, that cost of not taking enough action or not taking spirited action, as we like to say, was at least $5,000. And honestly, that sucks, right? Like that hurts. But you could also apply that to, you know, any standard job as well. If you have the opportunity to promote or to get a new job that you would be interested in, that would be more fulfilling to you, that would pay better, and you pay the cost of inaction and you don't do anything, you could have missed out on 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 extra grand a year in the fulfillment. Now that is a hard pill to swallow. Beyond that, you can also think about you're in a relationship or you want to be in a relationship. So with my example, you know, I was very fortunate, and we've talked about this story in the past in videos. All these people I knew met their significant others in college. I had no idea how to meet people. So I didn't know how to, you know, get to know somebody to ask them on a date or anything. So all I could do was go up to somebody who I thought was attractive and be like, hey, I think you're really pretty. Would you like to go on a date with me sometime? Now, the reason I say I was very fortunate with that is because I didn't know any better. I didn't know any other option. I was like, I don't know how to do this, I'm just gonna do it. But I know a lot of folks who, you know, they want a relationship, they want a family, they want to get married one day, they want to have kids one day, they're tired of being single, but they don't do anything about it. They don't want to go to the bars, which is fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with like, oh, well, you don't go to the bar so you never meet anybody. That's not what I'm saying. I actually think you're going to generally meet the best people not at the bar, to be honest with you. Everybody keeps going to the bars every weekend to try and meet somebody new, and it's like, yeah, it didn't work out, I'll go to the bar again and meet somebody new. Oh, that didn't work out. And sure, dating is a numbers game, but eventually you're just having bad experience after bad experience from the same location. Perhaps you need to change the location that you're trying to meet somebody. Beyond that, so let's just say, you know, that could be a bar, it could be a coffee shop, it could be anywhere, okay? You know, they're scared to go out and meet people anyplace. They're not interested in dating apps or anything, and they're scared to just talk to people, and they're scared when all of a sudden they just kind of like have somebody walk up to them, or they're scared to walk up to somebody. They can't win. They've already given up mentally, right? I'm not willing to go anywhere to meet people. I'm not willing to take the first step. I'm not willing to let somebody else take the first step. Not willing to try alternative avenues. You know, all of a sudden, I've only known one relationship my entire life that two people were actually willing to be that way, and they somehow found each other because other people set them up. One relationship out of every single person, every single relationship I've ever witnessed. One. And then when you consider the chances of that actually working when most relationships that you have, romantically speaking, don't work out. You know, how many people do you date throughout your lifetime before you find the one? The fact that that worked out is, I don't actually know the stats on it, but I'm guessing almost infinitely small. Now, the price of that inaction is being alone. I like your dog. So you're in this situation now that, with this example in particular, you're in a situation where the price of potentially finding somebody, I like your dog. Yep. The price of inaction is being single. The cost of action is possible embarrassment, some time, some money invested in a date, perhaps, right? But the embarrassment of rejection, potential heartbreak. You know, there really isn't anything in life that is actually truly free. You kind of get to pick and choose what you want to pay. Again, this isn't necessarily a monetary thing. You know, with the example of a job, you can either pay the cost of putting yourself out there, taking the time to build a resume or update your resume, write a cover letter, get your references, go through the job interview, and then the pains associated with learning a new job. These are all costs, right? Now, you do receive rewards from that too, right? There's few things in life that are purely cost with no return. Sometimes that return is not worth the cost, but there's always a return. With that new job, more money, more prestige, more fulfillment, you know, maybe a shorter commute, maybe a better work environment, whatever it may be, but there are returns on that investment. Now, the cost of inaction, let's say you don't want to pay that cost, that hardship of learning a new job, leaving the current position, whatever it may be, you don't want to pay those costs. So automatically those rewards are probably out that you would receive from that. So now, for that comfort, for the desire to not leave this position, whatever it may be, you're looking at the cost of your inaction, which would be feeling stuck and stagnant, not earning more money, frustration, maybe guilt or embarrassment, maybe shame even that you haven't changed anything, disappointed in yourself, whatever it may be. These are the returns on the investment of inaction. You see, because you don't purely have to look at this of, I'm investing this cost, I am paying my mental toll, my spirit, my soul, my finances, my happiness, my mental health, emotional health, physical health. I'm investing that in not taking action, and there are returns on that investment. The reasons for our inaction most of the time is fear. A lot of the times when we make the decision not to invest in some sort of action, it's out of fear. Fear of failure, fear of the risk, or fear of humiliation, shame, being rejected, whatever it may be. fear in and of itself isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fear is in part what has allowed the human species to survive all of this time. However, the thing that's allowed the human species to evolve is our ability to push back on that fear, to conquer that fear and control that fear and invest in action. But they don't do it. Usually there's a fear associated with because I don't know what to do, I might do it wrong. What if I do this and it doesn't work? What if I do this and it does work? Now here's an interesting one, okay? A fear associated with what if it does work. And this is actually where I struggled with Summer Day Fishing Company. And I was actually talking to my business coach about this 3, 4, 5 months ago, that, you know, I believe in this. I believe in the mission of this company. I believe I can do it. I believe I can actually help people catch more fish, make more memories, and get outside. Ultimately feel healthier, feel better, all these things. So if I feel that, if I believe that, why am I not taking action? And he said, you know, sometimes we're scared of what will happen if we were right, if we succeeded. You know, think of those relationships that you maybe know somebody in these relationships that it is obvious that someone's getting cheated on, that someone's cheating. And the person never does anything about it. They never ask. They never say anything. Why? They know it deep down. A lot of times they know it, but they don't want to know for sure. They're scared that they might be right. They're scared of what happens if they find out that they were right. What happens next? Right now, at least I know what happens, but I don't know what happens next if this changes. And honestly, folks, most of the time, the worst case scenario associated with investing in action and taking risk is temporary discomfort. Temporary discomfort from exercising and adapting to a new diet. Temporary discomfort of learning a new job. Perhaps you start a business, and you know, an online business, an e-commerce business, you invest $5,000, $10,000 into it to get all your product and everything, and it doesn't work. Then what? Well, now you got temporary discomfort of that debt that you got to find a way to pay off, right? Very few choices, though, when you take calculated risk, will actually wreck you. All right, folks, well, that is all that I have for this time. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to listen to this video, to watch this video. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. What risk are you willing to invest in? What action are you willing to invest in to change your life starting today? Until next time, have a great day.